me about how VDMA looks at how VDMA protects the interests of its member companies in India.
VDMA gives a lot of possibility for information to its members. They have a website. They have just today launched their mobile app for members to get information about the market, about upcoming possibilities, projects. So they're really very active in reaching out to their members.
Okay. In the Indian market dynamics are totally different as to how Germany operates. What are some of the how would you adjust in such a climate in Indian market? I mean, what is the kind of training or what is the kind of understanding that you would create within your members, or the members give us feedback to you?
Well, actually, this is a question you should ask to VDMA and not to the Consul General. What I know about the efforts German companies have to make to set up business in India, it is to adapt to the environment. And that is, for example, in India, many things work through personal relationships. And you cannot set up a business by remote control. You have to be present in the market. You have to be personally involved to find your partners and to know how to make business. So that is something which is very important for the Germans to learn. But many German companies are very successful in doing so because they have been around for a long time. So if you look at a company like Bosch, for example, they have been in Bangalore since the 1950s, so they were here even before I was born. So they have a lot of experience, and many companies have a long history with India, and once they know how to do it, they are pretty successful.
So as Consul General, how do you look at enhancing the relationship between the Indian government or with the ministers or the state governments that you work with, and how do you all collaborate and work together? So what is the role that the Consul General plays?
Yeah. The Consulate has a very, very good working relationship with the government of Karnataka, especially with the Minister for Industries. He is very supportive of all the activities of German government, of German companies, because he wants to attract more investment. And he is always talking about innovating, investing, and inventing in Karnataka. And he knows he has good partners in German companies to do that. So it's not only the minister himself, it's also his staff, like the additional chief secretary, the commissioner for industries. So they are very helpful to help the German companies to set up business. And on the other hand, the German companies know that they find the right environment here. Like Bangalore being a university hub, a research hub, a hub for innovation, they find the talented and creative engineers, which they have problems to find in Germany these days.
Okay. Because Germany is the hub of manufacturing. I mean, Germany is one of the leading countries. At a time when Europe, manufacturing is on a decline in Europe, Germany hasn't given up its manufacturing forte. So what is the kind of knowledge transfer or technology transfer that happens with other countries that are into manufacturing?
Now, as I said, many of the German manufacturing companies they have been present in India and especially in Karnataka for a long time. So there is a continuous process of transfer of knowledge going on. And then, of course, through all the products which are being sold, the vendors learn how to operate the machinery, and the customers they know how to deal with all this. So they get all the knowledge they need to operate the machinery. And I mean, we were saying that Germany is still the champion in manufacturing. Germans have one focus, and that is we want to be perfect. German companies focus on the perfect product. So there is a continuous drive to be better, to improve the product, and to convince the customer by being perfect. I think that's a very good thing to do. It helps the German companies to be competitive. But in these days of disruptive technologies and the need to innovate and embrace IoT and Industry 4.0, there are also things which the German companies can learn from India, and that is centered around frugal innovation. Now, many Indian companies and also Indian students, researchers, they have this amazing capacity to develop something with low budget and very small means. And that is something which Germans are not very good at. So there's room for exchanging of views from both sides and learning from each other. Still not forgetting that the product has to be perfect, but at the same time try to make things less complicated than Germans tend to do it every now and then.
Okay. You spoke about skill development. Yeah. So what exactly is the role that you would play, I mean, as a consul general, or maybe the consulate would play in India for enhancing skill development? Because India has a massive skill development program happening. So all across the country, in all pockets of the country. I don't know how. I mean, I don't know the results of that. This is what I hear. I read in the newspapers, and I hear the minister's talk. But how would you look at it as far as India is concerned?
First of all, I was confronted with the problem of skill development when I came to Bangalore around a year ago, because German companies told me they have a problem in getting the right staff for their companies, especially workforce for the shop floor. They have to invest a lot into training because the students they get from the ITIs and other institutions do not really have the qualifications they need. So they have to invest out of their own pocket into skilling their laborers. So and the government of Karnataka is also aware that there is a lot of room for improvement. So I thought, why not have them join forces somehow? Why not take all the expertise of German companies like Bosch, like Siemens, like Festo, who do a lot on skill development and training already, and bring them together with the government of Karnataka and to see whether they can collaborate on something. So this is one of the activities I'm still involved in, but there are also many other activities going on, like for example the KJTTI, German Karnataka Karnataka Germany Technical Training Institute. Okay. Now I have
KJTTI.
it. Yeah, KJTTI. This is an institution set up by the government of Karnataka with the help of GIZ. This is International Services of German Development Corporation. And they have, together with industries, not only German industries, but also Indian industries like Tata, Mahindra and others, set up a training institute. But this covers the, let me say, the upper end of technical training. But of course, there's also a need for skilled labor on the shop floor. And there's also something I learned since I came here. And coming from Germany, I found that totally amazing. And that is, there is a certain reluctance for young people to do manual work. Everybody wants to have a white-collar job. Everyone wants to go to university and have a job sitting in an air-conditioned office. But nobody wants to do welding or carpentry and really manual labor jobs. And I mean, coming from Germany, I find it totally amazing because in Germany you can have a decent career and good job prospects and also make good money if you are, let's say, a technician, if you are a plumber, if you are a
machine operator.
So there's more social value and also more pay, of course, attached to manual labor in Germany than it is in India. And I don't know how to change this. This is actually a question I should ask you. How do you think that these sort of traditions or social values or whatever could be changed? Because I think the huge challenge on skill development and finding jobs for people cannot be resolved by finding white collar jobs for everybody, but also by changing the attitude which is connected to manual labor.
Right. Well, India has its own issues. Okay. Well, we trying to sort of battle that within ourselves. It's something that comes from within. You can't change people. It's something that like helping others out, or coming to somebody's aid, or being polite, or being chivalrous. That comes from within.
Yeah.
So that's to each his own. Anyway, going forward, so what would you like to? Going forward, what are your plans for India? How would you look at? What are some of the new things that you would like to do as and when an idea strikes you, or maybe you see some situation and you want to rectify it?
Well, I don't have any plans for India. I'm listening to Indians, and I try to support initiatives which are brought forward by companies in Karnataka, by universities, by the government of Karnataka. I think my job is basically to listen and to see how I can connect people. We are a very small operation at the consulate. I don't have a huge staff. I have a number of highly qualified people, but we all think our job is to bring stakeholders together. And then they have to develop what they think is necessary for the state of Karnataka. Example, we spoke about skill development already. So skill development is something which I try to bring forward, like keeping companies together to work on skill development, moderating meetings with the government. So try to bring this skill agenda forward. And I'm not alone in doing this. The German embassy in Delhi has also started a project. The German ambassador in Delhi is very keen to move the alliance on dual VAT forward, which he has started with a sort of 20 odd Indian companies and really the heads of big companies. So what he's doing on the central level in Delhi, I try to do it on a more down-to-earth practical level in the state of Karnataka. So that's one field I'm doing. The other thing, we were talking earlier about innovation and how to bring German, mechanical engineering know-how, German technical know-how together with the talent pool you have here in Bangalore. And automatically you have to think of startups. Startups are really something very important in Bangalore. I think 1/3 of all the startups in India are based in this state. And bringing corporates, especially German corporates, in touch with startups who may help them solve their specific industry problems. This is also something I find very important. So I try to think about initiatives of connecting the startup ecosystems in Germany and in, let me say, Karnataka. There is again another initiative on the level of the center in Delhi, and that is to have a project together with Invest India and the German Federation of Startups to bring the ecosystems together. So, you always have to think of the work of a consulate being based in a state. So the states I cover are Karnataka and Kerala, but the whole of India is covered by the embassy. Right. So some of the initiatives they take on the level of the center may trickle down to where I am and where I work, but at the same time I can also have regional initiatives and then try to make them grow, and then one day put them on the plate of Delhi. And Karnataka is, I mean, very active in industrial policy, in startup policy. They have a lot of initiatives, and to help Karnataka have this good working relationship with Germany, I think this is one of my major jobs. Third point I should mention, apart skill development and startups, I try to bring the agenda for smart city development forward as well. We have a lot of German companies which can provide very clever solutions for the development of cities, be it mobility, be it energy, be it water, waste management. So, I mean, every idea which is important for the sound development of a city, I think German companies have a solution for that. I'm not saying that Germans are the only ones to have solutions, others have solutions as well, but many of the German companies have really tested and proved their solutions in Germany, and I mean, they are ready to offer them here as well. We have a number of new smart cities, or let me say cities which try to become smart over time in Karnataka, and German companies, many of them are VDMA members, are ready to present their solutions.